so that you can achieve what you're looking for?
Well, first of all, we also put out last week information about how unequitably many poor districts are funded at the state level across the nation. Far too often, the children who need the most get the least, and the children who need the least get the most. And so we want to make sure that Congress invests in every single child, but at its heart, we have always been about equity at the federal level, and making sure poor children, English language learners, children of color, children with disabilities have a chance to be successful. So we are asking Congress for an additional $1 billion to put behind poor students to make sure we have a chance to break cycles of poverty and help them graduate and go on to college. We want to invest heavily in teachers and principals who are doing the hard work every single day, and our educators deserve so much credit for the increases in graduation rates we're seeing. And again, this is an investment. It is not an expense. We all want to be held accountable for results, and the results are speaking for themselves. Remarkable progress, but again, a long, long way to go. We can't be self-satisfied. We can't be complacent.
Mr. Secretary, on Common Core, you've said in the past that the administration supports Common Core, but above all, you support high standards. It doesn't have to necessarily be Common Core. In the Republican House GOP bill, there's a provision in there that says the department can tie funds to adoption of Common Core. Is that something that you could support, or is that something that...
Again, our goal is just to have high expectations, to have high standards. We want every single child, again, particularly children who historically have not had the best of educational opportunities, have a chance to graduate truly college and career ready. And our simple measure for that is, can they graduate from high school and not have to take remedial classes? And far too often around the country, our high school graduates, so kids who stayed in school and played by all the rules, thought they were on track to be successful, were actually nowhere close. It's one of the most insidious things that have happened. So if young people in every state around the nation can graduate truly college and career ready, we're really happy. So young people continue to graduate and they're burning through Pell Grants and burning through yours and my taxpayer dollars, and they're not prepared, we do them a disservice. So having a high standard college and career readiness is, again, not a Republican idea, not a Democrat idea. It's the right thing for all kids.
So it could be a different set of standards as long as it reaches that goal.
We've been very clear on that from day one. That's not news.
Currently, schools are funded by property taxes. What do you have to say about equal funding for students across the country?
Well, again, just education has to be the great equalizer in our nation. And if we want to break cycles of poverty, if we want to increase social mobility, if we want to reduce the gap between the haves and the have-nots, the only way I know, the best way I know, is to give every child a great education, starting early childhood education, K to 12, a chance to go on to higher education. So we will either, as communities, cities, and states, and as a nation, we will either invest in every single child, or we'll continue to leave some on the margins. And for me, it's pretty obvious which direction we should go. The other direction is frankly immoral.
Great, thank you so much, guys. We'll have the superintendent do this.
Hold on. Just one additional comment about Common Core. The nation is now working very hard to put into place much higher standards in reading and mathematics for our kids. You will find in these urban school districts the strongest support in the nation for higher standards, and we understand higher standards to be important because they now hold our children to the same high expectations that all children across the country are held. That's why Common Core for us is an issue of equity and an issue that deserves to be supported across the country. And you will find in our nation's urban school districts the most full-throated enthusiasts for high standards across the country as anybody you will ever talk to.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.